What cheer, y'all? Well, we're going to continue on with our Preakness contender profiles. Now talking about Gosger, the Lexington Stakes winner. This one is trained by Brendan Walsh with Irad Ortiz in the irons. And this is an interesting one that if it was your traditional Preakness field, and I say traditional meaning, you had 10, 11 horses with some major quality. This is a horse that I don't know that I would be excited about, but you given this field, what it's likely going to look like. If we don't have anybody coming back from the Derby, he's one that perhaps merits some serious consideration. Take a look at the pedigrees by Nyquist and Gloria S by Tappet underneath. So again, the distance not as big an issue as it is with the Derby or the Belmont, and I think he'll probably be all right. You look down at the Conduit Mare profile, and not quite as much stamina as you've seen with some of the others, Clever Again or Goal Oriented that we've covered, but it does skew towards stamina. And with Tappet as the dam sire, I think it's a pretty good bet that distance isn't going to be an issue. Now we take a look at the running lines, and this is one that did kind of mixed signals to me to a degree. You look, Gulfstream broke the maiden with a 114 at a 111, so it was about an average maiden race, but or didn't break it rather, finished second, but did come back in his very next start to win, and did so pretty impressively. A 120 class rating is I had mentioned that earlier. When you're evaluating maidens, when you see a rating like that, that's stakes level. At the maiden level. So that was a pretty good race. It got a 113 race rating, which is a little bit above average for a maiden. Maidens are probably like 112, I consider to be 111, 112, be right on par with a maiden special weight. So it was a bit of a step up in class and did so at a one-turn mile, so stretched out a little bit, and won pretty professionally. And that got us to thinking about him for the Preakness, where I did not think it was a very good field, to be honest. Prador, I know a lot of people had some interest in because he beat Sovereignty, but he really didn't show up very well, and I didn't think his numbers indicated to me that he was all that. I really didn't see much in that race. I mean, Hypnus made a little bit of noise early but fell back, and he did come back in that race with Goal Oriented, where he had things the way he likes it with Lasix in the mud, and ran a really good second, but that's not where the Lexington, how that was run. You see it gets a 116 race rating, which is pretty good. It probably is on a par with, let's say, the Arkansas or Louisiana Derby prep races, and as we saw in the Derby, they did not come back to be very good. And he got a 118 class rating. Now that's significant for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a reduction from the 120 he got in the maiden race, and it was around 2 turns, and it was a step up in class. And he certainly ran better than the race rating, which is, you certainly want to see. But it's a little troubling that he didn't go past it, didn't get run another 120. So that's troubling. The other thing is troubling is he paired his career high Brisnet number from his maiden effort. He didn't build on it at 2 turns. He had a significant layoff coming off the bench for a graded stakes race, stepping up in the graded stakes company. I'd want to see better than that. So what it tells me is that this is maybe a horse. I know Brendan Walsh is usually pretty good second off the layoff. And incidentally, I apologize, I made a mistake here. Apparently Luis Saez is going to ride him, and you see you see Walsh and Saez click at a pretty good rate. I think they're 4 out of 9. So that would be a good sign. This may be a horse who maybe needs a little extra encouragement, and if that is the case, Luis Saez is the right jockey for him, to be sure. But you have to be concerned when you see a horse not taking a move forward, more taking a move aside. And particularly when you consider the quality of the race, which I did not think was very good, he did win drawing off, so you can give him a little bit of credit for that. But I would have liked to have been him to have been more impressive. So I have some question marks about Gosger. Um, the one thing you can say is that some of the new shooters haven't run in a graded stakes before, so he gets a little bit of a class edge, perhaps. But I think that Lexington was a grade 3 in name only, and so maybe he's back down to the same level as some of the other starters, like Goal Oriented or Clever Again. And then you look at it from that perspective, he needs to get faster if he's going to factor. So to me, there's going back and forth with Gosger. The positives are he is a professional horse, meaning I like his maturity. I like the way his running style. He rates well, and he's shown that right from the get-go. So you have to consider that a positive. You don't have any of that greenness sometimes you get. Goal-oriented, a little bit of an issue is that he does seems to break a little slow, not bad, but a little bit, and that could cost him the Preakness. But I think Gosger is going to he'll run his race. The question is, of course, whether it's good enough. What are the negatives? Well, that Lexington I didn't think was very good. So again, some questions as far as the comp level. Top end is really the big question for me. That Brisnet number was pretty low. Pairing a top off the layoff isn't bad, but it does, in this particular case, since he did them both at 3 years old, I do wonder if he's got another gear and can take another move forward. And that's coincidental with the other negative here, as he plateaued. Is that the best that he can do? Because if it is, that's not going to be good enough when you consider the speed numbers of Clever Again and Goal Oriented, and certainly if any of the Derby horses come back and run in this, Sandman, American Promise, or Journalism, he's going to be on the outside looking in. So, to me, not very high on Gosger. He looks to me like a middle of the road kind of horse, and I can't get much more excited about him than that. I hope our assessment helps you in your gauging of Gosger's prospects for the Preakness. And certainly, if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. Again, thanks so much to all of you who continue to grow the community. Thanks so much for the comments. Really loving that. It's just, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It's just a really great bonus. Makes for a really strong community. So thanks again to all of you who offer input consistently. We're going to have our more contender profiles for the Preakness. Once we'll probably save the Derby profiles to last, those who enter in the Preakness, because obviously we've covered them to death so far. We're going to be concentrating predominantly on the new shooters. We're going to try to do the elements of handicapping for the Preakness. Maybe a tall order this week, but we'll try. You will definitely have the full card selections. You'll have an individual post on the Preakness, as well as the Black Eyed Susan. Best bets, value plays, full card picks on Preakness Day, all that coming. So stay tuned to Right at the Wire for all of that. That's it from here. I'll talk to you soon. And until then, be well.